Hi, thanks again for joining me on another episode of MTV. Today I'm going to talk about a potential diamond in the rough. Now, many of you might be out there house hunting or looking for things that just could be out of reach dollar-wise, or you've been looking and found things that are not quite what you want, and then sometimes you find a property that isn't exactly what you expect. It could be partially renovated, rooms could be in the right location, but just needs a bit of a creative touch. And sometimes these are the gems that you can actually optimize on, take advantage of. But before you sign up on that contract, there's a few key things you need to understand and know about. So firstly, and most importantly, from a budget side, make sure it's structurally sound. And you get advice on two critical pieces here. It pays to get a building consultant and a building inspection on the property, because if you don't understand the cost at this stage when you're looking at it, before you sign the dollars over and get a loan or part with any cash, it's going to burn. And so getting that building inspection is worthwhile. You'll check out structural stability, salt damp, insect inspections as well with termites and pests, etc. Key things to understand, because they can just become a money pit later on. And when you get that report, you also want to find out what the quality of the work that's been done so far, because if it's been an existing renovation that's been part done, and it could be because for whatever circumstances the previous owners have had, you need to understand what the quality of that work is. Now, you might find a gem where they've really gone the full hog and used great materials, or on the contrast, they could have gone down the cheap end. But you need to know that so you can understand before you go and sign, and it can also help with your negotiating power. So number one is make sure it's structurally sound, and you use that building consultant and get that advice from a professional. Secondly, look for a functional layout. Things like having to move plumbing is very, very expensive, major plumbing work. So if you see a design where a kitchen, a bathroom, a laundry are situated in positions where it makes good sense, not that you've seen an old retro house with the laundries at the front and you need to move it out the back, but if it's a house that's got those key areas in the right positions, then it needs the decorative work and the reno from inside, but you don't need the structural piece. And like I said, with plumbing and major electrical, but particularly the structural and the plumbing piece. So see what that looks like. And if you're not certain, this is the time you deal with a professional, because you'll save the dollars. Someone who can listen, understand what it is you want, what you need, because you might see something and go, this could work for us, but you're not 100% certain. And before you go and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on buying that property, it's the time to look at that. And so our Monsta Go-To guys, we've got some real professionals in there that are builders by trade, inspectors, know exactly what they're doing, consultants, and they can help in terms of giving you guidance on what that might be able to make work. And you might find that you could uncover things that you didn't think of that could even be a great advantage, or could save you dollars and you go down the street and look for the next property. The next one is the cosmetic changes. Working with existing building helps the risk of overcapitalisation. So, you need to look at that, particularly if you're in a time frame where you're looking at something, because if you've got to go and get some major changes done and you're looking for council approvals, they could be lengthy. That could mean more time to extend your rental agreements that you've got, or having to live with the in-laws for longer than you wanted. All these sorts of things to take into account. So you might go, oh yeah, we can do this with this place and we've seen a great idea here, but if that's going to need a lot of work, and then there's a lot of time burden just because you're waiting for approvals, take that into consideration. Existing cosmetic pieces to change them cosmetically, or the decorative piece, is far easier, and they're the sorts of things you want to look at if you're going to buy a place in that situation, that potential diamond in the rough. The next thing is the half-finished projects. Take close consideration of this one, guys. It might look like a bargain renovation, and it could potentially be a bargain renovation, but you don't know how many other hidden problems are there. And I always think of that Tom Hanks movie many, many years ago, The Money Pit, where they bought this place that looked fantastic, and then all of a sudden it just was like money tumbling in. There's a great scene on that one, but I'm not going to reenact it. But anyway, this is where you need to understand that, getting that professional advice again, because it could potentially be that you've found a diamond in the rough. It could be one that, yep, it's there for the taking, everything's been done fine, but if you've gone the other way where you go, oh, I don't want to spend that little bit of money getting the advice, and parted with thousands and thousands of dollars, that is something you can't recover. And then you've bought something that's a lemon from day one, and you're always behind trying to make good and bring the value up. I just can't stress how important it is at the start. So those half-finished projects, someone could have gone bankrupt, someone could have left the country, whatever it could be, but they are the ones that you just need to get that advice on first, what to look for, the key things to look for, knowing what that is, and then going in. And that can also help you with your negotiating power when you're going back to the agent or the owner to put the buy in, because then you know what you need to work on. The last one is if you have found that place, that diamond in the rough, and you're going to go and negotiate for what it is you want, firstly, budget for the unknowns, okay? Because even though you might have got a consultant in there, particularly when I mentioned before about the cosmetic changes, allow for a good minimum 10% additional than what you were, because there's always the hidden ones that you don't know about. You know, things like a consultant should be able to pick up lead paint, but is there lead paint, and what do you have to do to remove that lead paint if it's an old place? What's been done, tiles, etc., flooring, timber flooring, underneath those carpets. Just allow for that little bit of extra. And again, you can use that towards how you're going to negotiate to buy at the best price. But you might recall when you speak, we had an agent last year that I had on one of the MTV programs. Your real money you make in buying property is at the negotiation start, at that first stage, and then the renovation takes place from there. So take that into account, work with a professional. It is so important. If you want, you've got our Monsta Go-To with our people that can help save you those dollars at the start, give you that advice. You've got our Monsta crew to give you a free 10-minute consult. Or if you want to speak to a professional and get a one-on-one, let us know, get onto the website, and we'll help you with that. Until next episode of MTV, I'll see you then, and I look forward to seeing your diamond in the rough that you found.